By configuring the profiles of the structure, we can now add other elements to make it more complete. In this module we will learn how to add protective grids, ladders, plates and shoes, and start in this class with protective grids, or bodyguards. First we will create a layer for these elements. Now let's look at the settings and how to position the protection grids, which serve to protect people, so they don't fall off the platforms. These grids are positioned in a standard format, however, we can determine the sizes and which profile will be used. Like the other structural elements of Plant 3D, inserting and positioning of protective grids is intuitive and simple to do. Clicking on the command shown, we right-click on the screen and click on Settings. See the dialog box that is open for the bodyguard configuration. We can also access these settings from the Structural Settings menu by selecting the option shown. We can observe in the open dialog box that there are parameters to create a protection grid. On the right side we have some options to determine the profiles of the protective grid. To determine the geometries of the protective grid, we need to enter with the values that we want in the geometry section, filling the fields from 1 to 6. These values are shown in a preview of the bodyguard at the bottom of the box. Let's enter the values we'll use in the bodyguard of our structure. The value 1 corresponds to the height of the handrail, that is, sets the sill of the bodyguard. Values 2 and 3 refer to the height of the intermediate bars, i.e. the sleepers of the bodyguard. If any of these values are assigned 0, that bar does not exist. The value 4 defines the height of a piece called kickplate, which sits at the base of the bodyguard and usually serves to prevent objects from rolling from the platform. The value 5 determines the distance from the first pole and the beginning of the crossbars of the bodyguard. The value 6 determines the maximum distance between the poles. In the field to the right of the dialog box we determine the shape of the crossbars, poles and kickplate. By clicking on the boxes shown, we are directed to the Profile Selection dialog box, which we saw in the previous module, where we have a wide range of profiles that can be used. By selecting the box shown, we activate the continuation of the intermediate bars of the bodyguard. Clicking OK confirms the settings. Let's then insert the bodyguard into the structure. To facilitate insertion, we can disable the layer of profiles and leave only the grid visible. We also left the snap on. To exit the command, we type escape. To return to it, we press enter, but it will only work if we have not triggered any other commands after typing escape. So we insert the bodyguards into the entire structure. If we need to make any changes to them, just right-click on the structure to be modified and select the option shown. Or even trigger the framework's edit command. Note: we finished this class, where we learned how to configure and insert guards into the structure we are developing throughout the course.